Investigative parties for sale. Some politicians are ready to quit their parties and Russian speakers. Even propagate European integration. 995 views. No ratings yet. Loading. Print this post. Viktor Stepanuk, former communist deputy, current president of the Socialist People's Party (PPS), is ready to give the party he founded and even to support Moldova's European integration. Also, Michael Garbuz, leader of Patriots of Moldova, is ready to give up the leadership of his party and, under certain conditions, to support Moldova's European integration. That although, in public speeches, he is a great promoter of the customs union and pro-Russian policies. Two other party presidents agreed to discuss the issue of party sales. However, there were politicians who rejected the proposal. Moldova. There are about 40 political parties, according to information posted on the website of the Ministry of Justice, MJ, and the Association for Participatory Democracy, ADEPT. Few parties are active, however. For example, only 11 parties have complied with the law and submitted by the end of March 2014 financial reports. Many parties, although with right documents, remain inconspicuous during post-election and resume in election years. Lately, however, is discussed a new fashion, takeover of parties. The latest example comes from the Republican People's Party, led by Nicholas Andronic and taken over, in April, by Renato Uzashi, controversial businessman who wants in parliament. Uzashi chose this path after MJ refused to record his own party. Intermediary of a businessman. Record of a party can be a difficult procedure, especially if you want to participate in the upcoming electoral campaign. To avoid visits to MJ, looking for new members or preparation of numerous acts, those who want to be at the forefront of future election campaigns can take over a party already registered in Moldova. Based on this idea, I contacted initially by phone several party leaders, with the proposal to have a meeting to discuss the possibility of taking over their party. In this respect, we have presented as a person who will mediate the deal, suggesting that, if the takeover is accepted, the party leader to talk face-to-face with a mysterious businessman, eager to get involved in politics. Viktor Stepanuk is one of those who accepted our telephone invitation to discuss takeover of Socialist People's Party, SPP, founded by him and recorded at MJ in January 2012. Thursday, June 19, he told us that he would be the next day, on Friday, June 20th, at around 09:00, at the Institute of International Relations of Moldova, IIRM, at around 09:30. I contacted Viktor Stepanuk, former Communist MP and former Deputy Prime Minister in the governments of Talev and Griciani. After our telephone conversation, we approached M headquarters, where we spoke in detail about the possible transaction. Options of taking over of Viktor Stepanuk. At the meeting, I pointed out that the businessman is interested in PPS also because it has a brand name. Although quite open for this dialogue, Viktor Stepanuk noted on several occasions that fears not to be recorded, and then, the conversation to appear in the press. You have to understand my situation. I talk to a stranger, who can record me, film me. From this point of view, you have to tell them the following. Basically, I'm ready for discussion. There are certain conditions that I am ready to put, but of course, this discussion must be confidential. It's very hard to talk through intermediaries. The only thing you can convey is that we are available to work on this subject, said, for the beginning, Stepanuk, who told us the options through which his party could be takeover. There is the option when the party is takeover completely, without me to have any complaints, and is the option when it can be takeover in several stages. At the first stage it is about participating in the election campaign, with those people, who finance and are in the fore. And I am on second place. There is the option when I sit at the back, but in general, at some stage, I retire. Under certain conditions. I know it has worked in other situations like that. I am a man of the word. I am not going to, there. After all, we are ready to sign a document with a certain guarantee to the problem. I mean, tell them that this is possible, especially that I'm not ambitious and am not eager to get back into big politics. If I go back, just as a member of parliament, in a solid team, with the experience that I have, we can achieve great things. Of course, there must be personality. You need to understand as an intermediary and to convey to them that it is important that the person I pass to, there he, has certain qualities, certain charisma to deal with politics, because, frankly, these youths, that I see now, they are without political image, without charisma, and look like villains. When a serious man who has been in politics and not a few years, 14 years, Member of Parliament, and Chairman of the Parliamentary Committee, and Chairman of Faction, and the second person in largest party, and Deputy Prime Minister, I cannot link to some villains. Even if they have big money, you understand. They may have big money, suggest millions, because to me I am ashamed of people whom I have gathered and created the respective party. That is why there must be some decency, said Stepaniuk. Stepaniuk, you can be there, then this to come out in press. I asked Victor Stepaniuk if he would have any objections regarding the policy that will lead the party after the takeover, given the fact that, very often lately, it advocated the Eurasian Union, party politics in this case. If they take it over forever, they change it the way they want. We told PPP leader that those interested to take over the party want to promote European socialism. Accepted. Moreover, I am ready to participate doctrinaire, because let's put it this way. European integration cause I supported myself with President Voronin. I am one of those who have promoted. I have promoted the idea of balancing between these two major geopolitical spaces, and the European Union, and I am convinced that this is the perspective of the next 50 years for our country. Here, a geopolitical struggle will continue, and if we take either side, we will have problems. Either one or another. It's not so simple to build this logic, but, on the other hand, this is reality. What Moldovans want in the EU and not Russia today. Namely that 80% of people want to stay in both places, said Stepaniuk. I said that the party will pursue a balanced politics, only aimed at European integration of Moldova. No problem. This can be promoted with me, and without me. I said. There are three options. I approached the financial aspect, trying to find out how much would Stepaniuk like to receive for giving up the party. I cannot tell you now because, I said, you can be there, then it will come out in the press. Smiles, no. This discussion should take place with them. They will come and indifferent if they like my terms. I keep this information confidential. I never to anyone. You see, I had scandals with President Voronin, and there too, much confidential information did not go anywhere. There are some ethical boundaries that I respect, more than respected Kachuk and others, said Stepaniuk. We agreed that we will discuss with those who want to take over the party and we will return to him in a week. Conditions of Patriots of Moldova party leader I contacted, also on telephone Mikhail Garbuz, party leader of Patriots of Moldova, with the same proposal as for Victor Stepaniuk. Garbuz is known as an organizer and participant in several anti-Romanian and anti-European rallies in Chisinau. Recently, the Information and Security Service, SIS, announced that it will investigate about a confidential meeting in Balti between Baskin of Gagor's autonomy, Mihail Formuzal, and Bishop of Balti and Forlesti, Marshall, and leader of Patriots of Moldova, Michael Garbuz, who devise a plan to destabilize the situation in Moldova before signing the association agreement between Moldova and the EU. In an interview for the portal www.tribuna.md, in 2013, Garbuz said that the parties aimed at European integration of Moldova are betraying the national interest. Asked what is advocating party Patriots of Moldova, Garbuz said that the widest possible integration in the Eurasian space, which is the only guarantee to preserve the statehood of Moldova and the Moldovan people as an ethnic group. With Michael Garbuz we met on a terrace near the press house. He was willing to give up the party, but put several conditions. Initially, after I explained why I contacted him, he asked if the person who wants the party is local. After I said that the businessman is from Moldova, but will be outsiders as well. Leader of the Patriots of Moldova wanted to know if they are from the east, west. To talk about it, I need some data. Party activity can only be based on clean money. Garbuz conditioned. I told him that those who want the party turned after its name, which is a commercial one and is more or less known. Yes, it's a recommended party. Bad, good, but it is. I have said, if money is clean, and the person does not take to landfill the political party. Garbuz, we are not so much for customs union. I asked if he would be willing to relinquish the party leadership, because the businessman wants to be the leader at least in the next election campaign. The most important is the goal. If their goal does not coincide with my goal, then it won't work. To give up the party which is today pro-Moldovan but tomorrow pro-Romanian, Never. I said that the party will lead a way that will promote good relations with all neighbors, including Romania, Russia and the EU. It's normal? We are kind of extreme. I plead for quiet politics. If goals coincide, for Moldova and the money is clean. Okay, give them my phone number, told us Garbaz. In this discussion I said that those who want to take over the party are worried that the party supports the customs union. Michael Garbaz has changed his speech a little. We are not so much for the customs union, as we do not like that it is insisted with EU. Our position is the following. Referendum. If majority of people will say they want an EU, no problem. If the customs union, here, we do what people will tell, he said. I insisted, noting that the future head of the party wants a pro-EU politics. I am telling you, if people want EU, then, for the good of man, if there is a person who can do more than me, please. The party will promote European socialism. Would you mind the EU? I asked. I am a socialist. It does not matter, European or not. Socialism is one, replied Garbaz, who avoided discussing financial terms because he wanted first to talk to the person who wants the party. Onishchenko and Utica, open for discussion, also appeared open for the initiation of discussions on collaboration with some businessmen. Oleg Onishchenko, party leader House Moldova. With him we met in a place on intersection of Mihai Eminescu and Boulevard Stefan Cel Mayer. I explained to him that there is a businessman who needs a party for the campaign in the fall. He showed interest but was very cautious. I have to talk to the person concerned. What does he want? We are a serious party. We do not know each other, so we cannot talk practical. Who is this person? Can we talk? What does he want? What are his visions? We need to talk. Take over a party is not so easy. I do not know you. Maybe you're a street person. I see you for the first time. You may be from MIA, from CIS. It is desirable to directly discuss certain things. I do not talk to intermediaries, told us Onishchenko, former alderman on the lists of Humanist Party. His party Our Home Moldova was created under Public Association Our House, Chisinau. Founding Congress was held on 30th of June 2008. The party was officially registered on 16th of September 2010. And Nicolas Utica, party leader by nation and country, PPNT, contacted by telephone, agreed to discuss the possibility of taking over the party he leads. So on Tuesday around 11:30 we met with him in front of a local from District Botanica. I explained that there is a businessman who wants to take over the party to participate in the election campaign. He showed interest in the proposal. Let's talk. What's the problem? For any party is beneficial to participate in the campaign, right? What is a political party for? We need to talk. To see what is proposed, he said. I said that the businessman wants to be president of the party in the upcoming elections. He can no longer be the president. The legislation does not allow modifications up to 6 months before the election. He can be on the lists, but not the president, he pointed out. Let us talk to the person who wants. To see what he wants, we need to talk, said the leader PPNT. Nicolas Utica in April 2010. Was the hero of a reportage filmed with a hidden camera by Publica TV reporters. From the pictures it appeared that he was ready to sign a sales contract of the formation that he leads to an influential businessman in Romania. He, however, later said he just wanted to see who the businessman was, assuming he would be a well-known lawyer in Moldova, who lives in Bucharest. It is not about buying, selling party, but taking over party financing, said then President PPNT. Politicians who refused talks in the experiment we initiated. We contacted several party leaders. For various reasons, some refused from the start to discuss the possibility of taking over the party. Other leaders of most forgotten names could not be found. Thus, Vladimir Turkin refused to discuss a possible takeover of the party Moldova Anita. Regarding the takeover cannot be discussions. If you have any other questions. We were also refused by Alexander Oleynik, Moldovan Popular Party leader. You what? You are calling Renato Uzashi? Are you making jokes on the phone or what? How do you imagine discuss with me something like that? What does it mean? What is possible? What is not possible? Courageous people who want to engage in politics. They do it open. They have my phone. They can contact me. They may come into Popular Party team, if they want. he told us. Initially, Vladimir Dorochko, co-president of the Socialist Party of Moldova, whose leader Viktor Marev, ex-MP, is given Insult International, has agreed to talks on taking over the party. Later, after talking to his secretary, who knew the Romanian language, and we've said that we're interested including in changing party's management, we were informed that if it is not a joke, about it seriously cannot be discussed. Selling party, between shame and legal responsibility. The law does not provide penalties for taking over the party, even if in the transaction are used money certainly not officially declared. Yuri H. Zokan, president of the Central Election Commission, CEC, said that these issues are not within the SEC competence. It is party's internal business. If the leader pulls his party for sale, people should understand what kind of leaders they have. Normally there is no formula for selling party. Nowhere in the law it is not described. But that's the biggest shame that may exist. A total dishonor regarding the introduction of sanctions. These are criminal matters. It is not the job of SEC, argues Zokan. Political analyst Anatol Taranu is not surprised that there are party leaders ready to give them up. It's a commonplace. These parties have no chance of success. They were created as prospective political projects, but it did not arrive. The leaders are trying to get at least a benefit for the effort of the past. Maintaining a party is pretty expensive, if it is not dead, because we have about 20 parties that simply do not fizzle. I do not think that's characteristic only for Moldova. Of course there are also cases in real life, and they are on the surface. Many parties have changed overnight their leaders, owners. It is clear that the overwhelming majority of cases the party taking ends with discussions on the financial aspect of this business. It is a business and there is nothing special about it. From the point of view of the law, which does not provide sanctions, sure it is legal, but, in terms of morality, it is a mockery. The fact that there are people who even accept to change political principles shows how much principled are in Moldovan politics in certain segments, explains political scientist. Politicians say that they realized Victor Stepaniuk. I understood that it was a challenge from you. My opinion I have set forth. In principle, it is not about takeover. It's about 3 different options of work with the person who wants to invest in that party. I see myself the head of that party. I see myself in leadership of that party. I could even leave politics if that party will retain doctrinal vision. The idea of socialist, doctrine of socialism in general, modern, contemporary, including European socialism. Michael Garbuz, I understood who you are from the meeting, because my boys were there in the room and deciphered you. What do you think, that I came just for selling the party or what? I agreed to see what comes out of you. I do not like things like that, and when I go, I'm ready. The meeting is filmed. Also the conversation is filmed. We have colleagues from CIS, who are working pretty well. There's no problem. I already knew after half an hour who you are and from where. Nicholas Utakayev. Why did I talk about takeover of the party? I talked about funding. I explained that he could not take over the party, because you have to make changes. No problem. What? Did I promise that you will take over the party? You talked about taking over the party, but I've said I am willing to give the party. I am only willing to talk to the person who wants to fund. I understood that there is something in the middle, because something like that cannot be. I realized what it is about, but I finally said I am willing to talk to the person, to see who he is and what he wants. Well, what's the problem? I figured out who you are, as it is not the first time. Oleg Onishchenko. I was not willing to give up. I figured that you are a person with a dubious attempt and I was interested to see the person dealing with such silly attempts. I realized that it is a dubious attempt. You must be very naive not to realize that it is not quite as simple. This is not a commodity that you could buy or to sell in the marketplace. Victor Mosnik. Let's block ad.